Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are feeding our sweet tooth yet again. We are doing lemon cheesecake crumbles. It's basically a cheesecake served up in a muffin pan or patty pan, paper case. That's what they call them in my recipe, a paper case. And they're going to be cooked in an oven, very low, 130, fan forced, 150, not fan forced. Pop them in the little paper cases. So get a muffin tray ready with 12 cases. Pop your oven on 130 or 150. And come on in, grab your mixer, come on in, and I'll show you what we need. Okay, so I've got the mixer with the beater thingies on it. We also need 500 grams of cream cheese softened. Good thing is today's a very humid day, so they're going to soften on their own. 2 packets of those. 2 tablespoons of finely grated lemon rind. Now use your little zester. That was actually 3 lemons. So you can use the juice and drink it with water or whatever because it's really refreshing. Half a cup of caster sugar. There. 2 eggs, which are there. This morning I was cooking something else, not with this, and I was so grateful for cracking an egg into a cup because long story short, I cracked an egg and it just didn't look right. So, you know, it's in the bin. That could have gone in a cake. So I always recommend you put it into a cup first. You can inspect it before you pop it in with your ingredients. Otherwise, you've got to basically start again. Too expensive. 3/4 of a cup of thickened cream. 50 grams of butter, chilled and chopped. Once again, it's a very humid day, so that's softening on its own. 1/4 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. Firmly packed means you can't fit another granule in. 1/4 cup of plain flour. And finally, a cup of rolled oats, aka what you make your porridge out of. Do not use the quick oats, use the regular one. All right, now that you know what's going in it, let's get to the end stage. All right, so first of all, mixer, turn it on. They always work better when you turn them on. Preheat your oven, as I mentioned. Line 12-hole muffin pan with paper cases. Using an electric mixer, beat cream cheese, lemon rind, and sugar until light and fluffy. All right. Cream cheese, I'm actually going to grab a knife and cut them because even though they're soft, they'll chop up quicker if I chop them up. It's the only thing I haven't done, I promise. And cracked 2 eggs. I'm a bit more organised. A little bit more. Now, if you keep them on the foil that they're in, you won't actually need a chopping board, which I'm a big believer of using your chopping boards and different knives. So if I tell you don't need a chopping board, I mean it. I have a permanent chopping board on my bench anyway. That's what you're seeing here. I try not to use that as a chopping board. It's more of if I need to put anything on the bench, etc., etc. I'm not going to burn a hole in my bench because I can't afford to renovate it right now. And to be honest, I don't really need to do much to my kitchen anyway. So, happy enough with it. I go out to a lot of nice houses with nice kitchens and I go, oh, I'd like to come in and cook in here. But then I think, Nah, if I've got more room, maybe I'll just make more mess, have more to wash up. Then I think a dishwasher would be nice, and then I think, yeah, nah, it's too much of a pain. Not only do you have to fill it up, you then got to empty it as well. Alright, I hate opening anything like this because I don't have nails. Alright, so while I'm doing this one, what I am going to do is grab the lemon rind and the sugar. Now, when it says sugar, it is not the brown sugar, it is the caster sugar. And the reason why I say that is because I should have told you some parts are for the crumble, some parts are for the cheesecake. Alright, so in goes that. Now, I did a really, really good rough guesstimate on that. That's 2 tablespoons. It might even be a bit more. But basically, 1 lemon I didn't even get a tablespoon from. So it's like, what's the point of making something called lemon cheesecake crumble if it's got no lemon in it? Duh. Alright. So I can put that on now. Get this one ready and in. Good thing about it being soft is it crumbles up so much easier. So when you believe it is light and fluffy, I turn it down to a low speed, crack 1 egg at a time into a cup and pop it in. These 2 eggs are good. And then once they're in and you can't see any more egg, in goes the cream. We want to beat it until it is combined. Okay, so bring over your muffin tray with your paper cases and basically grab a spoon, dollop it in. Yum, cheesecake. Baby cheesecake, actually. Just do a spoon in each and then just keep going back over them until all your mixture's gone. This is probably a good way to serve up cheesecake. That way you can share it a lot easier and you don't feel like you're eating a lot of it. There's no base on it. No, you got no biscuit base to it, but you got a crumble on the top. So you could think of it as an upside down cheesecake, which is pretty cool. Be good for the festive season. Maybe not for Easter because it's got no chocolate in it, but sort of like a nice summery dessert. Especially when you don't really want to be cooking much, and lemons are nice, summery sort of a flavour. Right, I'll be back when these are full. Okay, so when they look like that, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set that aside. Grab yourself a small bowl. And into the small bowl, all we're going to add is rub ingredients together, which is our butter, our brown sugar, our flour, and our cup of rolled oats. Awesome. All right, clean hands, pop them under water, dry them. Don't want them too wet. And you don't want your hands too, oh, no, you don't really want them sweaty. You don't want to melt the butter. You want to fold it all in. Okay, so I've done this using gloves before and it was so painful, so I don't use gloves. Now you don't want to be using the palms of your hand because you don't, as I say, you don't want to melt the butter. You want to turn it into a crumble. So once we've got this all crumbled, we're going to sprinkle it over the top of the cheesecakes. And then we're going to bake for 30 minutes or until cheesecakes are puffed and topping is golden. Now, once they're done, don't be tempted to remove them from the oven. No, no, no. Turn off your oven. Leave the door ajar, which means not wide open, but not closed. And leave them to cool in the oven. Once they are cool, refrigerate for several hours or until cold, and then you can serve. So it's quite a cruel thing in the way because we're cooking them and we can't eat them straight away. So if you're doing this for a dinner party or something, do them in the morning. Then by the time, they don't take too long to cool in the oven, but keep in mind you don't want to be putting them in the fridge while they're still hot because it will actually crack the cheesecake. And while you might think, oh, so what, I can't see it, just don't do it that way. If your crumble's looking like this, you're going good. Okay. All right. Let's go get those back. All right. Quite simply, just grab a bit and crumble on the top of each. There is so much crumble. You wonder why you had to make so much crumble. So don't be stingy with it. Cover it right over. Put it this way. Try to make it that you can't see the cheesecake. If you have that as your goal in mind, you're not going to fail. All right. Do they look like that? Without the mess. Obviously, I've made a mess around the outsides. Okay. Half an hour. And I will see you when we're ready to put our camera in the oven and have a sticky beak at how they're looking. All right. Catch you soon. Okay, so they cooked for half an hour. They've been with the door ajar, which is like that, for an hour. They're going in the fridge. Enjoy them in a few hours. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been lemon cheesecake crumbles. Catch you next time.